Hi everybody, it's Jess with this week's Word on the Street number 2. I am a little under the weather this week, so my voice is a little scratchy and rough, so you'll just have to bear with me. But you're seeing the card and the inside of the card that we're going to make this week. This week I wanted to focus on the inside of the card. I almost always have the inside of my card blank. So I thought it would be fun this week to have a little surprise when the recipient opened up the card. So I am using the set Celebrate Cake from Market Street, and I am paper piecing the cake stamp from that set using some papers from an older Cosmo Cricket collection, Joyride. It's the 6x6 paper pack, which work really, really well for card making. And I decided I didn't want to cut out all the little pearls on the edge of the cake. So I decided to just add some color to those using a Copic. And I believe that's V01, but I might be wrong. So I will check, and a complete list of supplies can be found on the Market Street blog. Now you are seeing me go around the outside of those paper pieces using a Memento black marker. I stamp with Memento black ink on this particular stamp, and going around with the marker just finishes off the edges really nice. It leaves it so there's no, white around the edges, and it just adds for more of a finished look at the end. Now I'm going to take my Zig two-way glue pen and just go ahead and kind of get all of the pieces put together. The Zig pen is really, really nice because it has a very fine tip. So it's perfect for paper piecing. You can get all your little pieces lined up, no problem. And the glue holds really well, and it doesn't kind of squish out from underneath like some others do. So I would recommend it. And the pearls, even though they weren't paper pieced and just colored in, blended in really well. They didn't look, like I just had colored them in. Now I'm taking my scissors there, and I'm just going to touch up quick with that Memento marker again. There was a couple places that had some white showing through, so I'm just going around. The one side of that marker is a brush tip, and the other side is a pen tip, so it works really good for a lot of different applications. And I'm just going to go ahead here and cut around the outside. All right, now we're focusing. This is the front of the card. And I took those same papers that I paper pieced the cake with, and using 3 different circle punch sizes, I punched out different circles from each of the pattern papers. Now I am inking all of those circles with antique linen distress ink. I wanted to ink them. It just looked a little too bright with the craft cardstock. And the antique linen is a really soft distress ink. It's actually my favorite. It's just a really light touch, a really, really light brown. So I use that one all the time. Now I am going ahead and adhering all my circles on. I'm just using my ATG. And I didn't really have a rhyme or reason to how I put these on, just kind of whatever looked good. And then at the end, I actually go back and add another one to one of the corners because it looked a little empty to me. So I was not happy with it. But luckily, there was room, and I, of course, had more paper, so I could just add it on there. Now I'm just going to flip the card over. And I have a lot of excess circles hanging out the edge. So I'm just going to cut those off. And that's a really easy way to get a straight line if you ever have anything hanging over the edge. Just flip it over and cut from the back side. And now this is where I add another circle. I thought about putting the cake on the front just because I thought it would look cute. But you'll see me hold it in the front a lot. But I ended up adding it on the inside. I just, for some reason, couldn't, let myself put all the good stuff on the inside. But I did. I held off. All right. Now I'm just inking around the surface again with the antique linen. And now I'm working on a little sentiment strip there. I just hand cut sort of a little border there. And I'm stamping it with the Have Your Cake and Eat It Too. That's also from the Celebrate Cake set from Market Street. And again, that's in Memento. And I'm just going to mount that on there with some foam dimensional adhesives. And I inked around the outside of the edge of that as well with the antique linen. I think that adds a really cohesive look to everything is when everything is inked and just makes everything look a little bit nicer together. I'm just adding a couple of the foam dimensionals there to get everything placed correctly. And then you'll see me flip over the card again to get it cut correctly. All right, now we're finally on the inside of the card. I'm stamping the happy birthday sentiment. That's also from that set. And I'm stamping these little star candles, also from that set. I love, love, love these. They're so cute on the top of that cake. And they would look good in yellow to kind of look like they were on fire. But I colored them in purple here to match the pearls on the cake. And then I'm going to just add a touch of stardust stickles onto the stars just to kind of give them a little extra sparkle and make them shine a little bit. And stickles is a lot easier to work with than glitter. That pretty much wraps it up for this week. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments over at Market Street or here at YouTube. And there will be a complete list of supplies over at the Market Street blog, marketstreetstamps.blogspot.com.